Internal displacement, whether due to conflict, violence, disasters or the effects of climate change, is a growing global problem. To provide thorough information to decision makers, IDMC uses two main metrics: the number of internal displacements or movements and the total number of internally displaced people, or IDPs. The internal displacements figure is all about movements. It tracks the number of times people fled during the year. Often, people face recurring or overlapping crises and are displaced several times in the space of a year. This figure demonstrates the repeated nature of displacement, where each forced movement may push someone further away from safety and stability. It also shows where long-term investments are required to prevent repeated displacements and chronic vulnerability. Unlike internal displacements, which counts movements, the total number of IDPs figure is a snapshot of the total number of people living in internal displacement at the end of the year. It includes people uprooted during the year who have not been able to return home, as well as people displaced in previous years who still haven't found a lasting solution. It helps to illustrate the scale of displacement in a particular country or worldwide. It also represents progress made towards resolving the issue year after year and guides decision makers when allocating resources to support IDPs. Let's have a look at some examples. De-escalating armed conflict in Syria recently has led to fewer internal displacements within the year. Insecurity and the devastation to homes, infrastructure and the economy, however, mean that it is still too unstable to return home for millions of people. As a result, the total number of IDPs at the end of the year remained high. In contrast, in India, floods and cyclones trigger vast numbers of internal displacements every year. Governments and aid agencies track these initial movements, often life-saving evacuations, but they rarely report on what happens next. As we frequently don't know if these people have returned home or not, the number of IDPs still uprooted at the end of the year is generally low. Today's displacement crises have grown, not only in scale, but also in complexity, severity, and duration. In many contexts, conflict and disasters overlap, triggering repeated displacements and increasing vulnerability. Reporting on both metrics allows us to better understand the protracted and volatile nature of a situation, so that decision makers can take action to address, resolve, and prevent future internal displacement.